They're not dealing with it at all.
No, we were joking earlier about me being older than rice. You can imagine my feeling about the bond market. I think it's very important, and what we've seen the last few days is that the bond market has really become tremulous or start to shake on the basis of watching these numbers climb. It's just not good for the American economy, not good for the world economy. And if you're thinking about the election, the midterms, and you're thinking about the war and gas prices and affordability, I think for this administration, it's not good.
I'm sitting here.
You look back at elections back, so we're only, 4 elections back once when you had the major presidential candidate and his running mate campaigning.
Yeah, I cleaned
wiped
off the cameras, or the camera lenses, I guess you'd say, on the back of mine, and it still looks fuzzy in that right-hand corner.
Yeah.
You couldn't touch it. You couldn't talk about it.
That's just weird.
Both parties don't talk about it.
Well, in America, can you,
It's like
you're forced to.
I don't know if it's just my eyes, but it looks like you're blurry.
What the heck is going on?
Yeah. I mean, it's not as bad as it was last
You
week.
have a capital full of people that have pledged not.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to break down and get some of those actual
programs.
lenses.
That's the reality. The reality
Like
is,
glass cleaners.
people talk about the debt, politicians go to dinners all the time, say, we're gonna tackle the debt, it's eating up, and guess what? They're not gonna, either they don't wanna touch it, there will be a day when Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, biggest drivers of the national debt, have to be addressed, but they're not gonna do it.
Yeah, we're always one
We're on the brink
election,
of economic disaster before that happens.
one election away from solving the big issues. We're going to do a series on the debt.
This
and
crazy
deficit
stuff shared
to
out.
a bunch of different voices in coming days. So, thanks. High prices are here to stay. Gas, groceries, insurance, and if you're a homeowner, you've probably thought, should I refinance and pay off this credit card debt? Then you second guess yourself because of that low mortgage rate you currently have. Listen, that low rate, it's not saving you if you're drowning in credit card interest at 25% or more. That's the math no one wants to face, but it's costing you thousands. Here's the truth. If you're only making minimum payments, that debt will follow you for years. That's why people are calling American Financing, because they're saving customers an average of $800 a month by using their equity to finally break free from credit card debt. No upfront fees. It costs you nothing to find out what you can save every month. And if you start today, you may be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. Call American Financing, 888-994-7660. That's 888-994-7660, or visit AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. APR for rates in the 5 start at 6.372% for well-qualified borrowers. Call 888-994-7600 for details about credit costs and terms. Visit AmericanFinancing.net. Average savings based on borrowers who save over $199.
Weber Chevrolet. In the auto business, you don't just automatically stick around for 120 years. You gotta earn it. We've come a very long way from selling wagons and farm implements and the like on the riverfront, where the Arch now stands. Now,
About
we have
7
great
minutes
dealerships
before we
in
go
St.
live
Louis
on the
and
radio.
Illinois areas, all in the 270 loop. It's a legacy built on
And
trust.
good morning to
hard work,
Facebook
and
Nation and our YouTube channel as well, for we are live on both of those at the moment. And as I said, we'll be going live on the radio here in just a little bit. All kinds of stuff going on this week. All kinds of stuff going on this week, Superfan.
Yeah. We can wait from All In.
Exactly 1 week away from All In, and next Sunday's show will definitely be going over that pay-per-view, and I'm pretty doggone sure that pay-per-view card is going to be extremely long.
Yeah, everything's looking longer and longer.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, you can check me on it if you want, but I believe that our next week's All In is actually going to start as soon as the radio side of the show here is ended.
Yeah.
So 0 hour, I guess you could say, will be going on while we're doing this
While we're
show.
talking.
So we might have to
Throw it up on one of the TVs over there.
I don't know if we'll be able to do that, but at least on one of our phones or devices or something, and be watching that and talking about things as it's going on.
Yeah.
That'll be a first that we've done here.
We'll leave that up to our technical director over here, the senior referee, Mr. HD.
Mr. 1, 2,
Don't say it.
3,
He's not here. He's not here.
HD
You
Daniels.
cannot say he's not here.
I will still always say it.
America's
You know
listening to
this.
Fox News.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I might jinx it, but I'm gonna say it. What a beautiful morning it is out there this morning.
It is very nice out there. Windows down. I drove with the windows down on the truck.
Nice. I mean, the humidity is 71%, but today, for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason today, it doesn't feel like the humidity is all that very high right now.
No.
So, take that for what it's worth.
After the last few weeks, definitely enjoy it.
And starting from about Tuesday on here in the St. Louis area, it'll be upper 80s. And then a week from today, it gets back up into the 90s. August is coming right back. The end of August is gonna go out like a freaking lion.
But it didn't come in like a lamb, if you ask me.
It kind of did. It kind of did. I can't complain. Really. Too awful much.
Yeah, all the rain we had a week and a half or so ago.
Yeah.
Split my tomatoes.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
The major averages
Too much
even
rain.
higher for the day as bond and inflation jitters ease.
Take a
but
chair
we're
shot
down for
to the
week.
weather.
Stocks
Yeah.
stumbling this week as
Would've been
bond
better
market
if it was snow.
volatility rattles investors. The magnificent
This
Seven
freaking
Cash
guy
stocks are
is
mostly
snow.
higher on Friday but lower for the week.
Now I want to say
Healthcare
snow as
stocks
many
driving
times as I can.
Friday's gains.
Trisha McGarry Williams, good morning, Sarge and Tim. Happy yeet to all and a yeet right back to you.
Bitcoin. Chip stocks lagged while software stocks rallied amid a rotation out of
I
chips.
love it.
Healthcare
Makes
was the
me
best
shake my
performing
head.
S&P 500
We
sector
know
as
it.
oil gushed on Iran tensions and holding at a 1-month high with
I think
West
that's what
Texas
she does.
Intermediate crude at $87 a barrel. The Dow up 518 points, the Nasdaq higher by 113.
At least you know I have a hate for that movement.
33. That's your
All
Fox Business
24/7.
Report. I'm Heather Barsky, invested in you.
All right. 3
World
minutes
of business
till we go live on the radio.
Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Well, that's an old commercial now.
The NWA Territories collide Saturday night, August 15th. The National Wrestling Alliance presents
Might be an old commercial, but I'm telling you what, that was such a great night.
It really was. It was. It was an awesome night last weekend.
Rising stars of professional wrestling will represent their territory in a one-night tournament where pride, opportunity, and victory are all on the line. Experience hard-hitting, high-energy professional wrestling the way it was meant to be seen, live and up close.
Now you know who's doing that commercial right there, right?
I don't have a clue who that commercial is.
That's me, right? But
Was that you?
You want to know?
Was that you?
You want to know the wild thing about that?
.com.
I didn't speak one word.
.com. Saturday night, August
I did not
15th.
speak
Don't
one
miss
word of that
Did you
commercial.
AI that?
No, I didn't
The
AI it.
National Wrestling Alliance.
The Legacy himself AI'd it, and you know what? It was pretty damn good, I thought. I thought he did a tremendous job on Isaac Lowenkron.
In Major League Baseball Saturday night, the Los Angeles Dodgers defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-3. Tarek Skubal struck out 11 in 7 innings for his first victory as a Dodger. They won 5 straight and 9 of 12. The San Diego Padres
I guess he
scored
got it
4
down to
runs
one
in the
take,
bottom of the 7th inning for a 7-5 win over the Minnesota Twins.
Yep.
The Padres have won 10 of 13,
I would think
20
so.
of 27. Randy Arozarena
One
hit 2
minute.
home runs, including the game-winning 2-run home run in the bottom of the 9th, giving the Seattle Mariners a 5-4 victory over the Cubs. J.J. Bleday hit for the cycle. Ellie De La Cruz had 4 hits as Cincinnati defeated Arizona 11-5. And the Boston Red Sox rallied for 3 in the bottom of the 9th inning for a 3-2 win over the San Francisco Giants. NFL preseason, Cowboys over the Cardinals 34-13. Dallas QB Joe Milton 9 of 13 for 176, 2 touchdown
Chiefs
passes,
lost
and a
last
touchdown
night
run.
16-15.
From the Meyer Auction and Real Estate Weather
Worry about
Center,
the-
Wait, how about that
updated
Harrison Butker?
KYRO
69 yards
forecast.
field goal, brother, to
Sunshine mixed
end
with clouds at
the
times
first
today
half.
with daytime highs
Woo!
approaching 81.
It's a heck of a
Partly
kick.
cloudy
Yeah.
skies again. Tonight, lows dip down to about 59. Highs level off around 81. Tomorrow, mainly sunny.
But
Right
our
now,
offensive line is scaring
73.
me already.
That's the latest
Yeah.
from News Radio.
It is me too, and I'm worried about Mahomes
I'm meteorologist
with that line.
Jennifer
Mhm.
Fuchitsky.
And with that being said, there is the bumper music and the mics. They are going live. Let's go ahead and turn that bumper music right on down, for we are live inside the Gateway Fiber studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. Of course, we are also live on our Facebook feed and our YouTube channel as well. You can join us there with your questions and your comments. We will definitely be looking at those. I'll be looking at the Facebook, while Superfan here is going to look at the YouTube. And, you know, real quick also, let me go ahead and make the introduction this morning. With me this morning, he is one of my co-hosts for this awesome show, Uncensored Wrestling Talk. He is the quintessential Nematode Nelly. He's the super fan, Tim Williams. Good Sunday morning to you, my friend.
Good morning, and a good morning.
Yeah, it really is a good morning this morning.
Beautiful.
The weather
out
outside is just
beautiful.
absolutely gorgeous. It's 74 degrees here in the Winfield area. Feels like 86, but you know, it really doesn't feel that warm yet. Now, the humidity, it's gone down a little bit since the last time I seen it a few minutes ago. It's now at 69%, but you know, even with that being as high as it is, it doesn't feel like the humidity is all that high right now. And the high today is only going to get up to 82. That's pretty doggone nice. And the same with tomorrow as well. The high will be 81. So we've got another couple days here where it's going to be absolutely gorgeous outside.
Yeah, and then next weekend it's going to be back on the sun.
Well, starting Tuesday, it'll be 86 degrees in the area, and then it just goes up from there. And yeah, by next weekend it'll be back up into the 90s. August is going to go out with a big old bang, I think, as far as the temperatures go. But hopefully, knock on wood, it won't be any more heat advisories and all that kind of crazy stuff that we went through last week and last weekend.
Oh yeah, I mean, the heat is one of those things. Trying to escape from it, and you know, heat strokes and stuff. That's a serious thing.
Absolutely.
And
heat strokes, heat exhaustion,
and everything. So you know, I feel for the workers that have been working really hard outside over the last few weeks, and hopefully some cooler weather is on the way, and maybe snow.
No. That's not for like 4 months away, and then I only want traces of it.
You want traces.
I would just want traces. That's it. That is it. Hey, real quick, you know, speaking of Facebook and YouTube, on the Facebook side of things, Trisha McGarry Williams chiming in saying, "Good morning, Sergeant Tim. Happy yeet to all," and a happy yeet right back to you, Miss Trisha. Hope you're having a great Sunday morning. And of course, also joining us in the Facebook chat, Miss Mama Bear. Sherry Hartley is in saying, "Good morning, guys." And you know what? One of these mornings, we need to have Mama Bear here in the studio.
Yes, I totally agree.
We're going to have to see if we can get that to happen. Like really, really soon. What a weekend it was last weekend. And again, a super, super huge thank you to the NWA New Mexico crew, the Duke City Championship Wrestling. They were here on the show for the entirety of the show last weekend. An awesome group of guys and gals there coming in and helping with everything that was going on last weekend as well. Just tremendous time.
And what a show last weekend. I mean, not only for Uncensored Wrestling Talk, it was a great show, but the night before with the tournament, man, I'm still got a little buzz and kind of a little high going on.
Absolutely.
That. So, because it was one of the best nights and one of the best crowds we've had at the race Wrestling Academy. And man, I want to say thank you to everybody that came out and supported, because it really goes to show what Midwest wrestling is and what great people we have.
For sure, 100%, 100%. But you know what? That one's in the books.
That one's in the books now.
You know, we are going to be doing more commentary on that one. Myself and my broadcast partner, Martin Kadich, is going to be doing that starting tomorrow evening. Actually, we're going to start putting those packages together, and those will hit, of course, CW11, KPLR TV, or a couple of stations in Columbia, up in St. Joe, and of course also the Intrigue TV network from Houston all the way up to Boston, Massachusetts, and also the World League Wrestling YouTube channel. But you know, the commentary that myself and Fabulous Freddie Fame from last weekend, that'll be hitting the NWA YouTube before too much longer, and I can't wait to see how that came out. But yeah, an awesome event last weekend. Can't say enough about it. If you weren't able to be there at the Race Wrestling Arena, you know, last weekend, regardless of the situation, make sure you go and you see these episodes, because they're
must-watch episodes.
Now, with that being said, we're not too far away.
No.
We're not too far away from the next live event at the Race Wrestling Arena, September the 12th. I believe this one is being called Aftershock.
Aftershock.
It's going to be interesting. No matches have been set as of yet, but you know, this is from from the Door to Destiny Rumble.
Correct.
Austin Mulatalo is now on the road, basically.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
WLW 27, the 27th anniversary show in November. Now, he doesn't have to prove himself anymore, of course, but you know, I would assume, Superfan, that he definitely would want to keep that momentum going between now and then.
I'm sure he wants some momentum, but you also have to stay there and see what's going on. You know, who knows what surprises might happen. You might have to prepare yourself for. So, this is really the beginning of the long road for Austin, if you ask me, because he's got to watch the competition. Because there's no guarantee it's going to be Camaro Jackson come the
I ain't betting against Camaro Jackson.
I'm not betting against him either.
Especially after winning, especially after holding that championship twice now. Winning it last year back from Carson Drake. So it's coming up.
I mean, he's the hottest.
10 months now.
Right. I would say he's one of the hottest, if not the hottest wrestler in NWA WLW.
And if you didn't watch last week or listen to last week's show, either way, you know, letting the cat out of the bag, close your ears right now for about 15 seconds. You know, Camaro Jackson winning that tournament last weekend. And so, you know, the momentum also completely, right now anyway, on the side of Camaro Jackson, the Grand Region.
Right. But the flip side is, you know, did he ruffle some feathers from those competitors from the other territories?
Well,
I mean, you don't know. So he's got a road. Austin's got a road. Can't wait to see it happen.
Awesome match against Jake Cross in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
An awesome match against Caramel Lightning in the semifinal.
The Caramel Lightning one, I'd love to see a rerun of that one.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then, of course, the finals against Bam Bam Malone. But after that match with Caramel Lightning, you know, as we talked about it last weekend, Bam Bam Malone attacking Camaro Jackson, knowing that Jackson was going to be his opponent. You know, well, actually...
Yeah,
thinking that he was going to be his opponent, because, you know, I mean, before...
He's still going to go through Chase Emery.
Right, exactly. But, I mean, so last weekend, all three matches, Camaro Jackson facing adversity, which he's no stranger to.
No.
Not to say that he gets himself in trouble, it's just that his opponents know, they know what they're doing too, right?
Right.
So... to get into these matches, and yeah, he was the hometown favorite, but you know, you've got to go through 3 matches to win a tournament like this, and he went through that adversity. So
yeah, I mean, you can't wait to see what happens with Austin. You can't wait to see what happens with Camaro. But now is the time that all the other guys start needing picking up their game. We saw Maximus Stone debut.
Absolutely.
What's going on with Aiden Riley and the Dogs of War?
Absolutely.
You know, JDR, Raheem De La Suede.
The Devils of
War, yeah.
Well, the Devils of War are no more.
Right.
The
Honestly,
Devils of War are no more.
They're
Coming
no
out of that
more.
door to Destiny Rumble. At least that's the way I see it.
Right.
Anyway, you know, here in the Facebook chat real quick, you know, I tuned in at a great time, coming directly from the astonishing one himself, Austin Mulitalo. And of course, you know, it's always a pleasure to have Austin Mulitalo in the chat room. Even more of a pleasure to have him in the studio. And we need to get him back in here before too much longer, to get his thoughts on everything that's transpired so far. Because, you know, also I'm sure that he would have loved to have been in that tournament last weekend as well.
yeah, I guarantee he wanted to be in that tournament. But, you know, hey, it was, you know, kind of set up the way it was set up, and we could only have one representation at the time, so...
But, you know, again, the next live event at the Race Wrestling Arena, September the 12th. You know, make sure you're checking HarleyRace.com for when those tickets go on sale. They might even be on sale right now. There you go. There you go. Now is the time to go in, get your tickets. Don't be on the outside looking in, because that is exactly what will happen. If you wait until the day of to come and get your tickets, you probably are not going to be able to get in.
No, I mean, again, all the storylines that kind of like took a pause, they're going to ramp up and just get crazy, if you ask me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, and we'll get into it more as the weeks progress here. But in October, not just the event happening at the Race Wrestling Arena, but I do believe that we're going on the road in October to 2 other different places.
Wow.
It's going to be a very, very busy time between now and, you know, the WLW 27, the 27th year anniversary show. And then, of course, you got Christmas Bash in December, too.
Right.
It's nonstop.
Yeah.
It's nonstop. Get your tickets.
Get ready for the ride.
Absolutely. Buckle it in, because it's going to be a heck of a ride. Cannot wait. So, with that being said, Superfan, I think we should go ahead and take our first break. And when we come back, you know, because of everything that was going on last week, we didn't really, on the radio side of things anyway, we didn't really get the chance to jump in to a whole lot of stuff that was going on during the week of professional wrestling. So we want to go ahead and focus on everything that happened during the week this week. We're talking Monday Night Raw, NXT, AEW Dynamite, TNA Impact, Friday Night SmackDown, and of course last night's AEW Collision as well. A lot of things setting up for different pay-per-views and such coming up in the very near future. Next weekend is AEW's All In, and that's looking to be a very, very good card.
Yes.
And then the following weekend, for the first time ever, Superfan, it'll be Sunday night main event for WWE. So let's go ahead and take that quick break, and when we come back, we'll start jumping in to everything going on in the world of professional wrestling.
Welcome to MegaNet. For slow internet, press 1. For a different customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. We're 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in line, 85th in line, 85th in line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time to refresh your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
Finley Shoe Store is a local family and veteran-owned tradition in
The
historic
Wild
downtown
Man.
Troy, Missouri,
Jeff Wild.
dedicated to serving the local community and providing great customer
another one
service.
we need
Their
to get
brands
back in
include
here in
Redwood,
the studio.
Irish Setter, Works, Birkenstock, Brooks, Merrill, New Balance, Skechers, Thoroughgood, as well as Superfleet insoles, state-of-the-art 3D foot scanner to ensure you get just the right insoles for you. Finley Shoe Store, providing men's and women's quality footwear in Lincoln County area since 1947. Finley Shoes, 636-528-8247.
Going live. Well, welcome back Uncensored Wrestling Talk, coming to you live from the Gateway Fibers studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. Of course, also on the Facebook feed and the YouTube channel as well. Get your questions and comments in, as a lot of folks already doing that this morning.
Right.
You know, we are also on X.
At UW Talk KYRO.
That is correct. And also, we've got a Discord channel, my friend.
Uncensored Wrestling Talk Show.
I say it all the time. Every day that ends in Y, there's some sort of wrestling going on. And, you know, one or two or all three of us, speaking of myself, Superfan, and our resident referee, Mr. 123, Yeet, HD Daniels, is in there chit-chatting about everything that's going on real time in the world of professional wrestling. And, of course, we don't have HD Daniels here this morning. Is a little bit under the weather this morning, so I'm hoping that he is feeling better, and we'll see him next Sunday morning, because I definitely still want to know what his thoughts were about last weekend's awesome NWA showcase, the 2026 Territory Classic. All right, let's go ahead and start getting into this a little bit here. Monday, let's start off with Monday Night Raw, shall we? Wow. The Intercontinental Championship on the line as Chad Gable went up against Rey Mysterio, the general manager of AAA now.
Right. You know, that match, it really set the tone for the week for me. And I thought, what type of match were we going to get? It was a awesome match. I'm telling you, those two guys, you know, showed up and showed out for that match.
For sure.
There was holds. There was, you just didn't know which way it was going to go. And you really thought Ray was going to win. I mean, he finally hit the 619, was able to drop the dime. Chad was able to kick out.
That's right.
So, you know, kudos to Chad for picking up the victory against Ray, and I think it's a feather in his cap to take down a living legend like Rey Mysterio.
For sure, 100%. And then also on Monday Night Raw, the tournament for the number one contendership from AAA, basically, to face off against Roman Reigns in Mexico, and I believe that's going to be a Monday Night Raw.
Correct.
In Mexico, that's going to happen in the next coming weeks or so. Dragon Lee going up against El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., the third iteration, basically.
Right.
The grandson of Dr. Wagner. I absolutely love and I love watching Dr. Wagner wrestle. It's so good. But then Dragon Lee as well, no slouch himself. Man, what an amazing match
I know
to have in this tournament.
I mean, and again, another one that just really stole the show of great wrestling. I mean, it's really to say something about the AAA right now and the product they're putting on and the talent they have. This match between Dragon Lee and Dr. Wagner Jr. was something people should go back and watch again.
And you know, I gotta say that from the very beginning of Monday Night Raw, I just had this feeling, and it really turned out to be true, that excuse me, this past Monday Night Raw was one of the better Monday Night Raws we have seen in a very, very long time.
Right.
Superfan.
Especially for quality of wrestling. Absolutely. I mean, that is one Raw that will probably go down as, hey, this is something they kind of felt like they kind of went back to some of the basics of it and put out really good wrestling.
For sure. 100%. And then, of course, also continuing in that number one contender tournament, Rey Fénix going up against El Fiscal. And it's the first time El Fiscal being on Monday Night Raw, really bringing it to Monday Night Raw, going up against Rey Fénix.
Yeah, I mean, again, Lucha Libre Wrestling this last week on Monday Night Raw took over the show. showed everybody what you should be doing inside that ring every single time.
Absolutely, 100%. And you know, from over the last couple of months, I've been kind of paying attention to Saturday nights at 9 o'clock when AAA comes on YouTube, and yeah, that Lucha Libre for AAA, out of this world. CMLL as well. I mean, they're both rival organizations, but both of them just putting out banger of matches.
Yeah, I mean, especially with this tournament, who do you think's going to really come out of this tournament? Because now we're pretty much down to Dragon Lee, Ray Phoenix, Penta, and
La Parca.
La Parca.
You know, it's really hard, and not taking anything away from La Parca, because La Parca has been so good for so long.
For decades.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That character has been around for decades. Also, not to take anything away from Ray Phoenix, who got that win over El Fiscal, or Dragon Lee, who got the win over El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. But I've got to lay the cards right now on Penta. I've got to.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with there. I think it's really been Penta's tournament to win from the beginning. But now I'm kind of curious if we're going to see Penta versus Ray Phoenix in the final match to see who gets that shot.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. It really is. But I cannot see Penta losing right now.
No.
He's just on such, and yeah, he lost the Intercontinental Championship to Chad Gable at SummerSlam. But scratch that off for just a moment. He's been on such a heck of a roll.
Yeah.
For a very long time now. For a very long time in WWE. Yeah, it's almost, you feel wrong to bet against Penta at this point.
Yeah. But I'm kind of curious, I might have to look it up, but I know it's not the first time Ray Phoenix has gone against his brother Penta. And I believe Ray Phoenix has the edge against him.
He might. You'll have to do some research on that and let us know next Sunday morning. But I just don't see Penta losing.
No.
All the way through, and even regardless of who he faces in the finals as well. Now, that makes a very interesting match between, if it becomes Penta to be the winner, going up against Roman Reigns. But again, with the way things have been going for Roman Reigns as of late, and then we're going to get into it here in just a little bit, but his anger level alone is starting to tick up the ladder.
Yes, I agree. We're starting to see the old Roman Reigns where I'm the king, I'm the top of the mountain, I'm the one, and I'm the only one. And you can see that he's starting to get that kind of twitch or twinge of, I'm tired of these people just coming at me whenever they want.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I gotta play devil's advocate here for just a moment here. When it comes to Roman Reigns, LA Knight, right? He's in the mix of things with Roman Reigns at the particular moment. But what, right now, at this particular second, what has LA Knight done? I gotta play devil's advocate here and agree with Roman Reigns. What has he done to actually earn a title shot against Roman Reigns?
Well, the problem is LA Knight keeps getting interfered and basically taken out of the equation by factions, namely the Bloodline. So every tournament that LA Knight has been in the last year, someone from the Bloodline has made it their mission to take him out.
But you know, with you saying that though, and it's probably been longer than a year.
Right.
It's probably been actually like 2 or 3 years if you really look at everything. But when you're going through that type of thing, you've got to adapt and overcome somehow, some way. And even if that means going out and getting some folks to watch your back, which now he does have in Solo Sikoa. However, you know, up to this point, really, well, up to maybe the last couple of months or so, he hadn't really been doing that.
Right, but every time he went out to find somebody, it ended up that person either turned on him or faded away and had something else they got to do. So he's always been kind of a loner, and, you know, LA Knight wants to do it on his own, but you're right, the numbers advantage. And as this goes farther and farther, and I think this even goes back to the last time LA Knight challenged Roman Reigns for that championship. He put up a big fight and really should have won.
Right. Solo Sikoa was the one that interfered in that match.
Exactly.
But now, fast forward a couple years, and Solo Sikoa completely out of the bloodline and out on his own, you know, for quite some time now, and up against the bloodline, kind of, and then having that match at SummerSlam, that triple threat, or the trios match, I should say, the 6-man match with LA Knight and Royce Keys. It's good to have people watching your back, but up to this point, again, I've got to say it, LA Knight has not adapted and overcame, and he hasn't really earned a shot yet. Not yet.
But how can you earn a shot when you keep getting taken out?
You gotta fight fire with fire, my friend. You've got to fight fire with fire. You gotta douse that fire with some water instead of pour gasoline on it. And that's what LA Knight's really been doing over these last 4 months or so. Really pouring the gasoline on, and outside, take SummerSlam out of the equation for the moment. It hasn't really proved successful for LA Knight to be throwing gasoline on the fire.
Right. But let's be honest, LA Knight should have got a shot back against Seth Rollins.
Why? What did he do to earn that?
He beat Seth Rollins. He got the victory, even though Seth Rollins hurt himself. He still got the victory.
But that was before he became. No, actually, he was champion at the time. It was a non-title match.
Correct.
That's true. That is true. And maybe that's why he really feels that he's owed one.
Right.
But I don't know. You've got a new champion. You've got a different champion, I should say.
And they're not necessarily going to fall in line of any promises that you made before.
Absolutely not.
But still, I
mean, let's look at this for a second. Let's say yourself and H.G. Daniels, right? H.G. Daniels is the champion, and somehow, some way, you know, you become the champion a couple months later, and H.G. Daniels had made these commitments to these other wrestlers. Are you going to uphold those agreements that H.G. Daniels had done? Of course you are not going to.
Well, it depends on who it is.
No. I know better than that, superfan. I know better. Taking all the poking the bear stuff out of the way for the moment, you know. No, absolutely not. You're not going to. Hey, real quick, from the Facebook chat, Mama Bear Sarah Harley says, I would like to see LA Knight have a shot for the title. I think that's a sentiment of a lot of folks around.
Yeah, I mean, really, LA Knight has been the one that's been the closest to the brass ring, but never given really a fair opportunity to grab it.
Well, I think what he's got to do right now, I think what he's really truly got to do, go through Jimmy Uso, go through Jey Uso, get victories over those two in succession, and then go up against the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, and then he can lay claim saying, hey, I have gone through your entire bloodline, and now it's just me and you. And then get his much needed or much wanted title shot.
But by then, I think Roman will be setting so high and mighty that he won't get a fair shot.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Also on Monday Night Raw, we saw Javon Evans going up against J.D. McDonough, of course, of the Judgment Day, and Javon Evans securing the win. But boy, oh boy, Big Cass coming in after that match was over with and just absolutely 100% destroying Javon Evans.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, a little bit of a word to the wise here for Javon Evans. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to get on the match after he took a couple of shots from Big Cass already and tell him, hey, is that all you got?
Yeah.
Because, boy, I tell you what, Big Cass came down and showed him even more.
Yeah, I mean, Big Cass is someone that I enjoy watching. I mean, obviously he was Big Bill in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see how well coming back to WWE and what type of a push he gets. But, you know, Javon, you're picking on somebody that's just way too big.
Almost double your size there, bro.
Right. And you're calling him back and going, hey, you didn't take my breath away, so, you know, you're going to do more
By
than
the
that.
end of that exchange, his breath was not only gone or taken away, but he was laid out in a heap.
Yeah. Whew. Talk about biting off more than you could chew. I think he just did that.
Absolutely.
The one sad part about it is JD McDonough.
Yeah.
Man, I wish they would give something to that guy.
Well, I mean, they have. He's been tag team champion with Finn Balor.
Yeah. But I'd like to see
a
singles reign. Yes.
Well, what kind of a singles reign are you looking for him to have? Because he's on Monday Night Raw, right? So you're only talking Intercontinental Championship
I think
and world title.
him and Chad would put on some bangers.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting to see a judgment fight against Chad Gable. Let's move on here. Monday Night Raw. What we're talking about at the moment. Sol Ruca, the former Intercontinental Champion, the most recent Intercontinental Champion, before she lost that championship belt to Raquel Rodriguez, going up against the very first women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria. And you know, I gotta be honest, I don't like this look, and I don't like the way they're going with Lyra Valkyria. It kind of takes away from Lyra, I think, and her skills.
Yeah, it does take away from her skills. I don't know the crazy Lyra Valkyria is the way to go with it, but it's what they're doing right now. I guess if you don't have Nikki Cross anymore, you gotta have somebody else acting kind of off the walls. So
I guess
they put her name in the hat and said, "Here you go."
Oh, what a heck of a match! What a heck of a match these two put on, though. Again, women's wrestling showing up and showing out every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the women, I don't care what match it is, the women are just killing it. But you know what? I'm already done with Soul. I just am.
Really? This quick into her?
Yes, this quick into her.
To the main roster?
Well, it's just the fact that I think she's just a one-trick pony. She's got
one-trick pony.
She has one finisher and just wants to flip and flop and try to show as much gymnastics movement in there. I don't believe her punches. I don't believe her kicks. And no.
Wow.
I am turning into the non-Sol Ruca fan in the United States.
So you were kind of pulling for Lyra then.
I was, actually.
Interesting. Also going on Monday Night Raw, in the women's division, a little bit of chaos happening. Stephanie Vaquer coming out, and she demanded a rematch for the Women's World Championship against Liv Morgan. Of course, she lost that championship back at WrestleMania, and we hadn't seen her until about a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago or so. And this led to basically a 3-on-1 beatdown by Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez. And then Becky Lynch come running out to not really even the score, but try to help Stephanie Vicker. Wow, what a situation this one's turned
No,
out.
I mean, I really hope they don't make it a triple threat. Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, and Stephanie Vicker. Let Stephanie Vicker and Becky Lynch fight it out, get the number one, and then go against Liv Morgan.
In the Facebook chat room saying, good morning, Sarge and Tim. Of course, our Uncensored Wrestling Talk champion.
Co-champion.
No, wrong. Wrong. Maximus Stone is in the chat house at the moment. Very awesome. We need to get him back in here as well before much longer. And we saw his debut back at the door to Destiny Rumble, and I know that he is itching to get back into that WLW.
He's probably
rank.
scratching at the door every single day going, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in.
I would not doubt that one bit. Then also, Monday Night Raw. This situation between Oba Femi and Braun Breaker getting heated more and more each week as we go by. And, you know, very interesting interlude by Paul Heyman in this one, setting up a massive contract signing that's going to happen coming up on Monday Night Raw tomorrow, which has a special start time of 5 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time, 6 o'clock Eastern. Man, I cannot wait for this matchup between Oba Femi and Braun Breaker. It is going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, I mean, they're signing the contract for Sunday night's main event, and I hope that is going to be the main event of Sunday
It should
night.
be.
It's big enough that it should be. And then who is the real future of WWE? I don't know if we should call it the real future, because both of them are now.
Absolutely. They both are right now. But you know, I think regardless of the result between Oba Femi and Braun Breaker on Sunday night's main event, this isn't the only match that we're going to see. I think we're going to see at least maybe even, I was going to say maybe 2 more matches between them to make it a trilogy, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's 3 or 4 or 5 more matches between these two. I can't honestly say one match is going to determine who the future is going to be. Even if Oba Femi were to beat Braun Breaker, or vice versa, quickly.
Right. No, I mean, this is going to be one of those, and I think it's, as the years play out and people look back at rivalries, and it's going to be, I think this is the beginning of, you remember when Braun and Oba stepped into the ring for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a kickoff of a long, historic rivalry between the two people.
Sounds good to me. Let's get it going. Let's get it going, and it will get going. Come Sunday night main event, two weeks from today.
2 weeks,
actually.
Yep.
2 weeks from today. Well, Superfan, we are up against our second and final break of this first hour. It's gone by already this quickly. Let's go ahead and take this break, and when we come back, hey, we'll finish up with Monday Night Raw and talk about the Roman Reigns situation that is unfolding before our very eyes right after this.
King Scott here, and I'm with John Lang, owner of Hilltop Motor Company. John, tell us about the latest sales you guys have going on. King, we don't have one. What? You're an auto dealership. You have to have some kind of sale going on. Nope, no quote-unquote sale going on at our place. And you know why? Why? Because usually those sales promotion at other dealerships, they're BS, man. Most of the time they're robbing Peter to pay Paul somewhere, and we don't play those games in Mountaintop. We're not about sales, we're about true savings. I like that. No sales, just savings. You're saying come in, check out the inventory, and you guys will prove that your pricing is always super competitive. Correct. We've got so much great inventory in the lot right now. Many vehicles starting at $15,000 or lower.
Did you recognize
And with
the
our
character
great
that's
pricing, we're confident
teaming
we
with
can get you set up the
Shinsuke?
right way. You heard
Yes.
it. Great pricing, great inventory,
Hiromu
great people to work with.
Takahashi.
And there's a
Who's
reason
that?
Mountaintop Motor Company has over 1,000 5-star reviews.
Now gonna be
Please
called
look for just
Kyoki.
any dealership. Aim higher and go visit the good guys in Troy.
And I cannot wait. I love his work in
And
New Japan. Cannot wait.
People are talking about Don Julio's Mexican Restaurant in the Winfield Plaza and Don Julio's Taco Express at number 3 Troy Center. Setting the standard for authentic Mexican food and great drinks.
So what all
Carry out or
championships
dine in
did
7
he
days a week at
carry?
both great
Say
locations.
What all championships did he carry?
Mainly junior.
Junior?
Yeah, the junior heavyweight championship, and then also tag team titles.
DonJuliosTroy.com.
Junior tag team
Don
titles.
Julio's Mexican Restaurant in the Winfield Plaza
But of course,
and
he was
Don
part of,
Julio's Taco Express at
Los
number 3
Ingobel,
Troy
now
Center.
by Dave
Okay,
Paxton.
that's
Don't
where-
forget,
that's
buy
where
one,
it's
get
on.
one free on
Okay.
Wednesday in Troy and on Monday in Winfield. That's Don Julio's Mexican Restaurant in the Winfield Plaza and Don Julio's Taco Express at number 3 Troy Center. Veteran owned and operated. Bringing great authentic Mexican food home to Lincoln County. Hasta pronto.
The Wrecking Crew. What do you guys do here?
We recycle. Our typical business is picking up stuff that nobody else can get.
People may have a lot of money laying in their property and they just don't realize it.
They do. A lot of money sometimes. And not where you would think it would be.
Where are you located?
Troy, Winfield, and Vandalia, Missouri. We do boxes, trailers. We cut stuff up on site. We do insurance work. Farmers, if you have a burnt building or wind damaged building or grain bin, that's our specialty.
How do they get a hold of you?
Call me personally or call the office.
The Wrecking Crew. 636-462-1727.
Old Monroe Lumber Company has the really big tools you need to get the job done right. Not only in the retail store, but in the rental area too. Bobcats, excavators, dildos, and lift equipment, including a 65-foot boom lift, scissor lifts, and more. Need something a little smaller? Old Monroe Lumber Company rents saws, log splitters, jackhammers, water pumps, and dump trailers. Just about anything you need delivered to your job site. Take a look online at omlumber.com.
People's Bank and Trust is helping you get a grip on your finances with our new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts, check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills all from the palm of your hand. Visit us online at pbtc.net for more information and to start using mobile banking. People's Bank and Trust, hometown
In
banking.
about a
where it
minute,
should
we'll be
be.
back
Follow us
on
Facebook and Twitter.
the Radio.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome to MegaNet. For slow internet, press 1. For a different customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. Your 87th in line.
So when is Triple Mania?
Or you'll have to look it up, I can't remember. I know it's coming up soon.
This is Helen at Gateway Fiber.
I think.
How may I help you?
Isn't it time
First night's in Las Vegas, and then a couple days later is in Mexico City. But yeah, you'll have to look it up. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's coming up, like I said, really soon though.
Pepsi Zero Sugar. It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar.
And the mics,
Really
they are
outdone
going
yourself
live.
this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
Well, welcome back. We are live inside the Gateway Fiber studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. Of course, also on our Facebook feed and our YouTube channel. I am Sarge. He is Superfan Tim Williams, and we are talking Monday Night Raw at the moment. And as I was talking about before we went to that last break, what a situation it's turning out between the bloodline and everything going on with the bloodline and those against the bloodline. Last week we saw Jey Uso beat Solo Sikoa, which meant it doesn't matter. You still beat him.
I'm just saying.
You still beat him. Again, adapt and overcome. If you know there's even a possibility that another member of the bloodline, regardless of who it is, could come down and interfere in that match, it probably behooves of you to have somebody in your corner at all times.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that.
No.
So, Jey Uso beats Solo Sikoa last week, which means he gets to be delivered to Roman Reigns and join the bloodline. But Superfan, that's not quite the way it went down on Monday
it
night.
started out, all you heard was Jay going,
Plow, 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 plow. No, pew. It was pew.
No, Pew is Solo.
And he was mocking him, going pew, pew, pew,
Right.
pew, pew.
But Jay was shooting his machine gun all the way, just taking Roman Reigns, and we're going to take you Solo down to Roman Reigns. Come on, come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Made me sick.
Superfan does not like Jey Uso one little bit.
Nope.
And
What a heel.
That is such a shame. That is such a
What a
shame.
heel.
Especially coming from the person that likes to poke the bear all the time. But you know, again though, getting delivered to Roman Reigns, and in the middle of all of that, LA Knight's music hits, and he comes down, barreling down to the ring, and he kind of gets the little beat down himself from
Jimmy and
both
Jay.
Jimmy and Jey Uso and the Samoan Werewolf.
Yeah.
When Roman Reigns kind of stepped in the middle of it all and said, "Don't touch him."
Right.
Don't touch him anymore. And even told the Samoan Werewolf to stay in that corner over in that side.
Right.
And that for the rest of the night, that's exactly, hey, kudos to Jacob Fatu.
He did what he was told.
Because he was doing exactly what he was told. He's doing exactly what he was told. And then Solo Sikoa getting told, hey, use that Samoan spike on LA Knight, and that is also not quite exactly what happened for him. It was Roman Reigns that got the spike delivered to him.
Yeah, I mean, you were sitting there and you knew that Solo was probably going to hit LA Knight because that's what he had to do. He was delivered, he was taken to, and he got that thumb up, and you thought, uh-oh, here goes into LA Knight. Sure enough, Solo turned, swerved, and pop, down goes the Chief.
Down goes the Chief, and again, the Samoan Werewolf stayed in that corner. Now, Jimmy and Jay, of course, trying to get involved in all of it, and you know, LA Knight and Solo Sikoa coming on the top of basically the Uso brothers. So now it looks like going forward, Solo Sikoa and LA Knight are going to have their backs of each other's backs going on, and that's really what you need. You need more folks watching your back. Unfortunately for them, Royce Keys is out with several injuries that he received from the Samoan Werewolf not long ago.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks prior. I mean, the Jacob Fatu just laid into Royce Keys. Laid the guy out.
Absolutely. Trisha McGarry Williams in the Facebook chat saying, and I quote, "Tim is a little bitter about Jay. Maybe it's jealousy."
No, absolutely not. There's not a jealous bone in my body for that guy.
It kind of sounds like it.
No, I just don't like him.
It kind of sounds like it. Just a little bit.
Aiden Riley's right here. Jey Uso's even below Aiden Riley.
Wow. So you like Aiden Riley better than Jey Uso?
And that's saying a lot.
Wow, wow, wow. That's crazy talk.
He could take his game and just go.
Well, that's not going to happen, my friend. That is definitely not going to happen. Hey, we've got about 5.5 minutes left here in the first hour. Man, this first hour is going by so quick already. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the happenings of NXT. How do you think Cruz Montana has fared so far in his jump over to WWE and now being on NXT? Are you liking what you're seeing from the former Mike Santana, now Cruz Montana?
I don't know. I mean, I guess first of all, why did you have to change his name? I mean,
that's a WWE.
I understand the WWE thing, but he deserves to be in the title shot. I mean, shoot, he was the TNA champion. But do I really think that he's going to make any splash and be any higher? No. Not that just like over enthralled with Cruz Montana.
You know, we saw Cruz Montana getting attacked by Zilla Fatu last week. And, you know, Cruz Montana opened up the show calling out Zilla Fatu. Instead, Fatu signed his NXT contract later in the night, and it was confirmed that Zilla Fatu, Grayson Waller, because that's also who he attacked, and Cruz Montana will all challenge Tony D'Angelo for the NXT Championship in a fatal four-way match at NXT Heatwave.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to actually go out on a limb and say, man, I'd like to see Grayson Waller actually pick up the championship.
Wow. Over Tony D'Angelo?
Over Tony D'Angelo.
That's interesting.
Not that I haven't thought Tony D'Angelo has done a good job, but it just, you need some pizzazz right now in NXT, and I think Grayson Waller, love him, hate him, would give that, especially on the NXT championship level.
So you don't think Tony D'Angelo is doing very well as the NXT champion?
It's vanilla. To me, it's just vanilla.
It's just vanilla. Wow.
With no swirl in it.
Also a very interesting situation, I thought. And then the winner in this fatal four-way, earning a shot at Ray Phoenix's AAA World Cruiserweight Championship, EK Prosper versus versus La Parca, I should say, versus Tristan Angels against Romeo Marino. And, you know, I really thought going into this one, with La Parca doing as well as he's doing in that #1 contenders tournament, that he might have came out of this one as well to get a shot at Ray Phoenix's, again, AAA World Cruiserweight Championship. But it was not. It was EK Prosper coming out of that one with the victory.
Yeah, I mean, EK Prosper deserves a shot, but man, I thought Tristan Angels was the one that was going to come out of that one. I don't know if you've watched much of LFG, but they've done a really good job with Tristan's Angels story. So,
right.
I see big stuff on the horizon for him.
Very cool. Very cool. We've got about 2 minutes before the top of the hour, so let's get to this one really quickly here. Natty going up against Thea Hale, and Natty getting the pinfall, but also Natty continuing her post-match attack until Jada Parker coming down and making the save.
Yeah, I mean, they're setting it up again. Jada Parker and Natty need to go one more time. You know, I don't know how many more times Jada Parker has to come make saves on people. It's time for Natty to put up or shut up against Jada.
You know, I'll say this. I've said this many times before. I'll say it again. Natalya, Natty, whatever you want to call her, she really should be a multi-time women's world champion. And really, if they're going to put her in NXT, she needs to be in the NXT women's title picture, regardless.
No, I agree. I mean, just her lineage and everything that she's done for wrestling, that's one of those, she doesn't need to earn it. She should be constantly in that picture.
Absolutely. Hey, we've got about 30 seconds here before we go to the top of the hour news. And 6 minutes after the top of the hour, we'll be back with hour number 2 of Uncensored Wrestling Talk, and we'll continue talking NXT results. Of course, also we'll jump in about AEW Dynamite, TNA Impact, Friday Night SmackDown, and AEW's Collision from last night. We'll see you on the other side of the hour.
Live from the Gateway Fiber Studios, online at gatewayfiber.com. News Radio 105.3, 1280 KYRO Troy. It's 11 o'clock in the Heartland.
Speak it to the people. Speak to the people, Superfan. Give them
I am actually going to go check Google and see if I can find the Penta versus Ray Phoenix. What's
Okay, there you go.
Is still overseeing vessels out of the Persian Gulf through a safe Southern Passage. In the backdrop, there is that ongoing naval blockade and fresh sanctions.
Let's see what old Google has to
Fox
say.
Trains in Tel Aviv, Israel. A tropical storm likely to pack rough conditions for Hawaii just days after Hurricane Lala.
We now have a tropical storm that is called Moke. It will be here around midnight, just skirting south of the islands, especially the Big Island. It will drop 5 to 10 inches of rain, most likely on the Big Island, which is impactful because we just had so much rain from Hurricane Lala there.
Governor Josh Green, America's listening to Fox News.
In a recent survey of 123,000 wireless customers, Pure Talk was the only wireless company to receive 5 stars in every category: coverage, support, value, and data. What else do you need to know?
For everybody that doesn't know, they are actually real brothers.
Their top shelf unlimited data plan for just $15 a month for your first 3 months. No contract, no
Have
commitment.
faced
Dial
each other
pound
limited
250,
number of
say
times.
micro,
Probably
and let Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team.
Promotions AWMLW
Here's a tale of Becky.
and other independent circuits.
She squinted at prices.
Holding at even head-to-head series record. They are split right down the middle in televised encounters.
That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, could save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insured.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report. The major averages ending higher for the day as bond and inflation jitters ease, but we're down for the week. Stocks stumbling this week as bond market volatility rattles investors. The Magnificent Seven big cap tech stocks were mostly higher on Friday, but lower for the week. Healthcare stocks driving Friday's gains, and the price of Bitcoin surging to a 3-month high on President Trump's Clarity Act push. Crypto-linked stocks like Coinbase surged along with the price of Bitcoin. Chip stocks lagged while software stocks rallied amid a rotation out of chips. Healthcare was the best performing S&P 500 sector, and oil gushed on Iran tensions and holding at a 1-month high with West Texas Intermediate crude settling at $87 a barrel. The Dow up 518 points, the Nasdaq higher by 113, S&P 500 up 33. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Weber Chevrolet. In the auto business, you don't just automatically stick around for 120 years. You gotta earn it. We've come a very long way from selling wagons and farm implements and the like on the riverfront, where the Arch now stands. Now, we have 4 great dealerships in the St. Louis and Southern Illinois areas, all in the 270 loop. It's a legacy built on trust, hard work, and commitment to our community. But what matters most is you, our valued customers. It's no surprise, times have changed. Vehicles have changed, car buying has changed, but we're still here to do what we've done for the past 120 years, helping people find great cars and trucks to meet their family's needs and budgets. That's something that nobody else can say. See for yourself why for 120 years, Weber has been the name that you can rely on. Visit us at any of our locations in Granite City, Columbia, Illinois, and Freeport. You can also find us on Facebook on WeberAutomotive.com.
A short time ago, the New York Yankees placed pitcher Ryan Weathers on the 15-day injured list with a left forearm flexor strain, which forced him to leave yesterday's loss to the Blue Jays in the 4th inning. Yankees today also reinstated Cody Bellinger from the injured list. On Saturday night, the Los Angeles Dodgers defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-3. Tarek Skubal struck out 11 in 7 innings for his first win as a Dodger. They won 5 straight and 9 of their last 12. The San Diego
Love you too, honey.
scored 4 runs at the bottom of the 7th inning for a 7-5 win over the Minnesota Twins. San Diego's won 10 of 13 and 20 of its last 27. NFL preseason Saturday night, Cowboys over the Cardinals 34-13. Dallas quarterback Joe Milton.
Had 3 people comment on my shirt this morning.
2 touchdown passes. He also ran for another touchdown.
From the buyer auction in Real Estate Weather Center, here's your
Just in the nick of time.
Just in the nick of time, he gets
Sunshine
that.
mixed with Plaza Times.
You know what?
Afternoon with days
Another
and
reason
nights
WWE made me happy this week.
What?
No spots for Danhausen.
No, we didn't see Danhausen at all this week. You're right.
Maybe he's gone from WWE.
No, he's not.
That's the latest from News Radio.
He's not gone. But with that being said, we're about to come back. Mics are going live. Well, welcome back. Hour number 2, live from the Gateway Fiber studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. Of course, also on our Facebook feed and our YouTube channel. You know, Superfan, you were
watching it.
You were monitoring the YouTube. I am monitoring the Facebook. So if you've got any of your questions or comments, please go ahead and don't
Agree or
hesitate to throw those
disagree?
in there. Absolutely, absolutely. We will speak on it all. Let's go ahead and continue here. We were talking at the end of the first hour there about NXT and the WWE Men's Speed Championship was on the line. Lexis King defending against Lucian Price, and you know, Lexis King coming out still as the Speed Champion, but you know, also doing a little bit of a beatdown on Price after that match, and Bronco Nima having to come out and make the save on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how long Lexis King keeps the Speed Championship. But I kind of like the concept, but I guess I'm kind of over it also. I don't know. It's one of those. I like the idea of somewhat quick. You got a certain time that you have to get it done with.
Do you like that Speed Championship? It's a 5-minute match.
5-minute match.
I mean, that is so quick.
I mean, you have to get in there, you have to move, you have to get everything in that 5 minutes, and that's tough.
For sure, 100%. You know, real quick, from the Facebook chat, NWA New Mexico Duke City Championship Wrestling chiming in and saying hello from New Mexico. And of course, we had all those awesome folks in the studio last weekend, and what
It's
an
bright
awesome
and early
show.
there.
It is. It's about, well, it's 10 o'clock in the morning there for them right now. So, but an awesome show last weekend.
Yep.
If you were not able to get to see it, of course, you've got about 30 days on the Facebook side before Facebook decides to take it down.
Right.
And they do that with all videos, basically, which is a shame. But it's in archive on the YouTube channel for good. So if you haven't seen it, hey, go back and
those
watch
guys
it.
are great.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
An awesome show from last weekend. Of course, we had fabulous Freddie Fane in studio with us. We had Hobo Hank, who participated in the tournament from last weekend, the 2026 Territory Classic. We had the voice of NWA New Mexico, Fernando Gonzalez, in as well as from the production crew who helped me out quite a bit last weekend with the promos and the interviews, both Kevin and Mackenzie in there, the beautiful Miss Mackenzie.
Hopefully they enjoyed Buc-ee's on their way back.
Absolutely, hopefully. Of course, also stopping in Uranus to get their fudge packed there in Uranus.
Exactly. Got to get your fudge from Uranus.
And seeing hopefully they got to see the big ball of twine as well. So all kinds of awesome stuff going on. But no, we again want to say thank you to the crew from NWA New Mexico. It was an awesome show last weekend, and we hope to be able to have them on again in the very, very near future. All right, let's continue. NXT. Kalani Jordan and Kaylee Armstrong taking on Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair, and Jordan and Armstrong getting the victory by pinfall, and then Jordan took out NXT Women's Champion Kendall Gray, and that actually allowed Armstrong to pin Speed Champion Sinclair.
Right. I mean, I'm actually getting to the point where I feel bad for Kalani Jordan because she deserves a shot, and they're just not giving it to her. Is she going to end up being just like Jordan Grace in NXT?
You never know. You never know. Speaking of which, I miss Jordan Grace.
There's a talent that again, what are you guys doing? What are you doing?
And there's no real word.
No.
There's no real word. And there's no real word on whether she's injured
I don't think she
what
is.
the situation is.
I've seen videos where she's at the events.
Yeah.
She's just backstage waiting for her number to be
For
called.
the opportunity. Yeah, for sure. Jackson Drake going up against Shiloh Hill, and Jackson Drake getting the win by pinfall, which secures an NXT Heatwave titles match for the Vanity Project following a missed attack by Naraku.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What a situation that was turning into.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of wonder where Naraku's going. I mean, he's talking about bringing Evil to NXT, so I guess that's where he's heading.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and turn our attention now to AEW Dynamite from Wednesday night. All kinds of stuff going on in that one. A trios match. The United Empire getting together. Will Ospreay, Francesco Akira, and Hanare. Also awesome to see Hanare on AEW programming again, as they went up against the Don Callis family, Brian Cage, Lance Archer, and Rocky Romero, and United Empire coming out victorious in this one, Superfan.
Yeah, I mean, Hanare, or is it
Hanare?
Hanare, man, he's a little tank.
He is a tank.
He's
always been a tank over in New Japan.
I was like, wow, look at this guy. But, you got Brian Cage. Man, this Wolverine, let's get something good going for him.
Yeah, I would agree.
Lance Archer, why do they keep
the Murder Hawk?
Give him, I know he's getting up there, but give him another run.
Yeah. What about Rocky Romero?
I don't care.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
I got my select few.
The Continental Cup quarterfinal between Nigel McGuinness and Hechicero. What a match that one was. But, and Nigel McGuinness, somehow, some way, I still, it just blows my mind still. But him coming out victorious in that one. Yeah. But I tell you what, he has got one heck of a bad wheel right now. That
really
ankle is really bothering him.
He's got a real bad wheel. But did you catch the point in the match where he was like telling Hechicero, you touch my ankle, I go after your mask?
That was at the very beginning of the match.
And what did Hechicero do? He went after the ankle.
Of course.
And sure enough, he went after the mask. That was a good match. I don't know how Nigel McGuinness is standing. I don't know how he's making through the tournament, but yeah.
He's doing it.
He's doing it.
One second at a time, basically. But, I can't blame Hechicero, though, for going after that ankle. And if you're going into a match and you know that your opponent has some sort of an injury already coming into it, you've almost got to focus on that.
Yeah, you have to take a shot at it. You have to see how strong it's going to hold up. I mean, he literally has a bad wheel, and that's affecting a lot of his being able to move in the ring and being able to avoid stuff and actually attack with his foot and his leg.
Absolutely. The TBS Championship on the line in a four-way matchup. Maya World, of course, the champion, going up against Hikaru Shida, the former champion that she had just defeated not too long ago. former AEW Women's Champion and former TBS Champion, Women's TBS Champion, Chris Statlander, and the CMLL Women's World Champion, Persephone. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this, I mean, I was really kind of rooting for Persephone to be able to pick up the victory on this, but they've got the Rocket behind Maya World right now.
The Rocket is definitely strapped to Maya World, and she's strapped it upon herself. I mean, she has been doing very well for herself over the last couple of months. Very, very well.
And it was back and forth through the whole thing. I mean,
it really was.
You didn't know who's going to turn, who's going to get their finisher, you know, and Maya World was able to squeak out the victory with a 25% probability.
Absolutely, absolutely. And she had I don't want to say a run-in, but a little talking with Willow Nightingale in the back that we'll get to here in just a little bit. But, you know, we continue on with the results from Dynamite here, and another quarterfinal matchup in the Continental Cup. John Moxley going up against Switchblade Jay White.
Match of the week.
Really? You think it was match of the week?
I think that was the match of the week. As much as, you know, Raw did well with some of the Lucha Libre, that match was a great match, and you just knew we're going to have a new Continental Champion because Jay White came within an eyelash several times of actually pulling out the victory.
Yeah.
Go back and watch that match if you haven't seen it.
Absolutely. But yeah, John Moxley able to get the win. And this is the first time out of the several different times that these two men have locked horns that John Moxley actually got the win over Jay White. They had faced each other a couple of different times over in New Japan, and Jay White was able to secure the victory against John Moxley on all of those matchups, but not so much this one.
And you can tell John Moxley doesn't want to have to go through him again.
Well, this is
at
true.
The end.
This
Even
is
at
true.
the end, but they do respect each other, I think.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. And you know, and John Moxley has almost, it's kind of weird. It's just kind of weird to me because he's basically the leader. Let's call him the leader because that's exactly, really, truly what he is. The leader of the Death Riders, and the way that they conduct business and everything. It's kind of, I don't want to use the word surprising. It's just weird to me that John Moxley pretty much shows his respect to his opponents and with a handshake basically after every one of those matches. And we kind of saw that with between himself and Jay White again as well.
Yeah, but this is also, you know, no outside interference, just one-on-one. It's straight up.
It's true.
You know, and so John Moxley is saying, hey, this is what wrestling is. I'm going to show you what wrestling is. Doesn't mean that he's not going to pull that trigger, as they like to say, and do something underhanded if he needs to take out the victory. No, he's going to do that. He's going to do whatever it takes to win. But at the end of the match, if you put up the fight, he's going to respect you for it. And I think that's why it's okay for him to be shaking hands after a match.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, there's a bit of a typo on this one. So, and I'm trying to remember, Superfan, who it was that teamed on the Don Callis family. It was Kazuchika Okada and Kyle Fletcher together.
Wasn't it El Clone?
I think it was El Clone. As they took on the Death Riders. And, you know, what a night for the Death Riders, because the Death Riders come out victorious against the Don Callis family, and that, I don't know if you really want to call it a split or a divide, but something definitely going on between Okada and Fletcher now.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, now that Don Callis has thought of this genius triple threat coming up at All In with Okada, Fletcher, and Konosuke Takeshita, I mean, you could tell there's animosity building and which way that's going to kind of blow out. at the end of All In. It's going to be interesting. That's actually kind of one of the matches I'm curious to see how it falls.
For sure. And then some more key highlights from AEW Dynamite. Kenny Omega, at the end of his trios match, when Melee was going on, of course, himself and the Young Bucks getting a victory in a trios match on Dynamite, but sending Will Ospreay crashing through a table with his one-winged angel setup move. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
that rivalry is really starting to fire up.
That rivalry is firing up. The whole build-up on that, because, Kenny got a beatdown before Ospreay came in to help, and then Ospreay's helping, and then Kenny beats down Ospreay and hits a one-winged angel on him.
And not just hitting it, but hitting it through a table on the outside of the ring, jumping down with him from that ring apron, and he got some height on that too.
Yeah, and the fact that Kenny's kind of doing what Kenny does and tries to get in people's head, basically telling Will, hey, your son's going to have a new favorite wrestler at the end of All In.
Whew. Well, I mean, he said that when Renee Paquette earlier in the evening sat down with both Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay.
Right.
And man, they had some choice words for each other, and again, with all that happening, and then Kenny Omega sending Ospreay through that table, this is gonna be one heck of an AEW World Championship match come next Sunday night at All In.
Right. Some of that's not on here. There's a really push now for the trios champions with Brodito and
there's all kinds of trios teams that are
coming out of the,
and I'm loving it
everywhere.
I am loving it. A lot of them coming out of the woodworks right now.
But I think there's going to be a mystery one at All In. I'm going to say it now.
Really?
Swerve Strickland, formerly known as the New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods.
I could see that happening. That would be
because Swerve's
very
saying,
interesting.
hey man, you just didn't say what I think you just said.
Well, I mean, he's going to be taking on, speaking of Swerve Strickland, he's going to be taking on this coming Wednesday night on AEW Dynamite, Jungle Jack Perry. And I'm kind of hoping, and this is supposed to happen over in Scotland, in Glasgow, Scotland. And I would kind of like to see, I don't know, would you rather see the New Day debut at that event, or would you rather just see them debut at All In? Because I'd like to see a little bit of a build-in.
Right. If they debuted at Glasgow or came out, then it makes sense to, hey, there's your opponent for the trios or they've got to have some type of gauntlet.
I wouldn't be surprised, and they haven't announced this or anything yet.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they were to set up some sort of trios match with like 4 different trios teams. And that would be tremendous.
But do you do it the pre-show? Do you do it the day of?
No, you don't put that on
the
the
week
pre-show.
before?
No, you don't put that on the week before. You don't put that on the pre-show. You put that on the main card, and I would put it almost dab smack middle of the card.
So it's a trios 4-way.
Yeah, a trios 4-way. I mean, this is questionably the biggest show for AEW the entire year. Right?
Absolutely.
So you're going to want to get as many of your competitors on that show. And that's why we're going to see probably 11, 12, 13, 14 matches to include, the pre-show as well. So, and this would be a good way to get more people involved on that show.
Right. But the question is, if it is, I just had this gut feeling it's going to be the New Day. Do you do it at Glasgow or Collision?
Personally,
or
I would have
do
them,
it at All In.
Personally, I would have them show up, and this is just me. If I had the pencil, I would have them show up at Glasgow, right? And they do, after Swerve Strickland defeats Jungle Jack Perry, and I think that is what's going to happen. The three of them start doing a beatdown on Jungle Jack Perry, and then you see the trio's champions, Hangman Adam Page, Brody King, and Bandito coming down and getting and mixing up with Swerve Strickland and his new partners, and then you see the Demand coming down and all these other teams as well jumping into the fray of it all, and that's where we, after all that is said and done, maybe a few minutes after that, they announced, what Tony Khan has said, now it's in ink, it's going to be a blah 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 way trios match,
right? Yeah.
Or it could even be, and I wouldn't mind this one either. I think you mentioned it just a few moments ago, some sort of a trios gauntlet type matchup as well. That would be pretty cool to see.
Where the last person you're facing would be the champions.
Well, again, we've seen gauntlet matches where the champion has started it off too. So
that'd be rough.
It would be interesting. It would be interesting. It would be an interesting situation for what's building up for that. Let's see here. And then also, Renee Paquette sat down with Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné, and that one turned into a
brawl.
A brawl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were in separate rooms to begin with, and they both were pretty much, I've had enough of this.
Right.
Let's get together and let's fight it out now. And that's exactly what they did. They got together and was waylaying on each other the entire time.
Yeah, and the fact that, again, Willow comes out on top out of the brawl.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? We are way past our very first break of the second hour here on Uncensored Wrestling Talk. We are going to go ahead and take it, but it's only 59 seconds long.
59 seconds.
And when we get back, we continue on with everything that happened during the week of professional wrestling this past week.
For slow internet, press 1. For a different customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. You're 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in line, 85th in line, 85th in line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time you refreshed your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
Finley Shoe Store is a local family and veteran-owned tradition in historic downtown Troy, Missouri, dedicated to serving the local community and providing great customer service. Their brands include Red Wing, Irish Setter, Works, Birkenstock, Brooks, Merrill, New Balance, Skechers, Thorogood, as well as Superfleet insoles, state-of-the-art 3D foot scanner to ensure you get just the right insoles for you. Finley Shoe Store, providing men's and women's quality footwear in Lincoln County area since 1947. Finley Shoes, 636-528-8247.
And welcome back. Hour number 2. We are halfway through. Hour number 2 already.
Goes by so fast, Sarge.
It really, truly does. Live from the Gateway Fiber studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. Of course, our Facebook feed and our YouTube channel going strong at the moment as well. Get your questions and your comments in. We definitely appreciate all of you that are watching and listening on the radio as well. And let's change this up just a little bit here, Superfan. Instead of going to Friday Night SmackDown, and we'll get to Friday Night SmackDown here in just a little bit. I want to jump to AEW Collision from last night, and because there was so much stuff going on that one too that is leading into AEW's All In for next week. And with Maya World winning that 4-way on Dynamite and retaining her TBS championship, she had, like I said, I don't want to call it a run-in, but she had a conversation.
Right.
She had a conversation with the AEW Women's Champion, Willow Nightingale. And, Willow had made her a promise that she would give Maya World a title shot. And that's exactly what happened on AEW Collision in the main event last night. And what an awesome matchup both of those ladies put on.
Yeah.
And I dare say that could very well be my match of the week.
No, it's a very tough contender for match of the week. I mean, again, women wrestling, if you haven't watched women's wrestling, get out from underneath the rock.
I'm telling you.
Because the women are killing it. They are just killing it every single time. And, you know, again, this has been a repeat message that we've been saying for over a year now. Women's wrestling is at the top of the game.
For sure. 100%.
And these two, yes, I could definitely see this match being match of the week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Then also, of course, on Collision, the Continental Challenge Cup continued on with another quarterfinal match. And, you know, two conglomerate teammates, if you will, Kyle O'Reilly going up against Orange Cassidy. And again, what a matchup between those two as well.
Yeah, that was a match of hold and let's hold some more.
Who can hit the most suplexes one after the other on each other? Who could last the longest between the two of them? Getting delivered suplexes to each other.
Right.
It was a wild matchup.
Yeah, and you know, unfortunately, Kyle has that ankle lock in his bag.
He does, and when he got that finally completely secured in. And in such a way that Orange Cassidy could not move whatsoever.
Right.
Orange Cassidy had no choice but to quickly tap out. Because if he didn't, he was looking at some long-term damage there.
Exactly.
And a matchup that we didn't know that we were going to get. You know, Eddie Kingston was in this in this Continental Challenge Cup, but you know he suffered an injury, and subbing for Eddie Kingston was none other than Death Rider Daniel Garcia, and he went up against fellow Death Rider Claudio Castagnoli, and again another match that could very well possibly be match of the week.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point where when Claudio ended up just working the leg, working the ankle, and when Claudio finally got the boot off Daniel, and then he did a one-arm giant swing on him, wow. You knew that was the end of the road for Daniel.
Absolutely, but you know, again, that matchup between those two.
Let me ask you, did you agree with the way Daniel got in?
You know, since Eddie Kingston was injured
and can't go.
You know, they had Ring of Honor had a bit of a pay-per-view on Friday night, and and the name is escaping me of who he faced, but he had to wrestle.
Right.
He had to win a match to get placed into this tournament to sub for Eddie Kingston. And so I have no problem with Daniel Garcia getting into the tournament because he picked up that win.
Right. Well, to me, it was one of those, should it have been more of, if you're going to have somebody sub, bring back the people who've lost already.
No, because you've already lost.
Okay.
You're done. One and done, as they say.
Okay.
You lose, you're out. And Daniel Garcia wasn't in this tournament.
No, he wasn't at the tournament.
And neither was the person that he was facing. So, I mean, no, I do not have a problem with the way he handled his business. He won his match at Ring of Honor, which made him get into a match with Claudio Castagnoli. And you know, as soon as I saw that match was announced, I knew that was going to be one heck of a barn burner.
Yeah.
Because with the Death Riders, they do not give any kind of quarter whatsoever. And this isn't the
probably
first
hit
time.
A little bit harder because they're
This isn't the first time that two Death Riders have faced off against each other.
Yeah.
And we have seen them go toe to toe against each other, just like they do when they're going after someone.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed it quite a bit. I enjoyed that match tremendously. Tremendously. Another trios match from Collision. The Bang Bang Gang, Jay White in action again, alongside his quote-unquote gang members, Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn, as they went up against Shane Taylor Promotions, Shane Taylor, Carly Bravo, and Sean Dean, and the Bang Bang Gang coming out victorious when Jay White hit the Blade Runner on Charlie Bravo, and after the match was over with, Jay White getting on the mic and laying their claim to a trios championship match.
Yeah, and the fact that they never actually lost the championship.
It's true.
So,
So throw another trios tag team into the mix for that trios championship come All In. I mean, this could very well, like I was saying before, this could very well turn into being a gauntlet type matchup for those trios championships. And I welcome it. I absolutely welcome it. Whew, I don't know who can, I do not know, Superfan, who can defeat these two ladies. The AEW Women's World Tag Team Title 5-minute eliminator as the Tag Team Women Champions, Divine Dominion, Megan Bain and Lena Cross taking on Erica Lee and Tiara James in that 5-minute match. And I think it was, 2.5 minutes?
It was about it was over in one. They did stretch it out a little bit. No, those two girls,
I don't know who can beat them.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, you got a tough challenge with the Brawling Birds, but I don't know if even the Brawling Birds have.
Yeah, they've got a matchup with Divine Dominion coming up at All In next Sunday night, but I just don't know. Divine Dominion has been so strong over these last several months.
Yeah.
Since beating Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale for those tag team championships.
Yeah.
It is going to take a Herculean effort from whomever is in the ring.
The only way I see it them losing the titles is if someone turns on the other.
And I don't see that happening.
I don't see that happening.
I really don't see that happening at all, in any way, shape, or form. With Claudio Castagnoli getting that win over Daniel Garcia, and Kyle O'Reilly getting that win over Orange Cassidy, the situation for the semifinals was announced at Collision for All In, and it will be Kyle O'Reilly going Nigel McGuinness, and now I'm even more worried about Nigel McGuinness's ankle because, that's Kyle O'Reilly's finishing move when he gets that ankle lock on. So I'm really worried, Superfan, for Nigel McGuinness in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of time, if you ask me, before that ankle is going to be snapped by Kyle O'Reilly, and Kyle O'Reilly would be one of the finalists at All In.
It could very well be. It could very well be. And then it was also announced that the other two, members in this semifinals, two members of the Death Riders again. It'll be Claudio Castagnoli taking on the Continental Champion at the moment, Jon Moxley.
Yeah, I mean...
And that could very well be the match of the night for All In.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad that they didn't make it where, that it was Claudio was going against John at All In. Now it's the semifinals. I don't know who's
a blind draw, and that's what happens when you have a blind draw.
And the Death Riders aren't happy about it. They say it just sucks.
Well, I mean, what that came out of was Wheeler Yuta asking Daniel Garcia how he was feeling.
Yeah.
And he said it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much that it sucks that Claudio Castagnoli is going up against Jon Moxley.
Right.
I don't think either one of them, speaking of Claudio and John, really care who they're going up against.
No.
It makes it even better for them if they're going up against each other, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And of course, these two semifinal matches, both of them, again, because it has the Continental,
Cup.
this particular iteration, the cup situation, no outside interference is going to happen in either one of these matches. So, because everybody has been completely banned from those two matches, it's going to be awesome, I think, to see what happens in this. But I still stand by of what I said last weekend, that I think it's too close to the Continental Classic tournament,
right?
Which is going to be happening in a few short months.
Exactly, because they even made mention they had the cup, and now the tournament starts at the beginning of fall and winter. So,
yep. Interesting things. And then also on Collision, we saw both Commander and Speedball Mike Bailey teaming up, going up against an odd combination. Nick Wayne and Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, that one felt a little bit thrown together. It was a good match, but it did feel a little bit thrown together. But what's the stipulation? The winner, the team that won, now has spots 3 and 4 in the casino gauntlet.
I think possibly. And with that match, it was Nick Wayne who hit Commander with a Prodigy Plex to get the win for his team. And if that is the case, spots 3 and 4, Nick Wayne, he
number
just threw number 3.
Yeah.
With Ciampa having number 4. So it's going to be very interesting. That's going to be a very interesting gauntlet match of that one as well. And I still don't mind to see 2 different gauntlet matches at All In. Get as many people involved in this night that you can get at All In at Wembley Stadium in London.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see who all shows up for the AEW gauntlet match, because it won't shock me that you end up with 15 or 16 competitors out of it.
Wow, you think it's going to be that many?
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't think it's going to be that many. Cut that number in half.
You think
I think it's going to be about 8, roughly. 7 or 8.
Before there's a pinfall in the match?
Yeah, because that's usually generally what AEW does in their gauntlet matches. Whoever gets a pin, regardless of when it is, wins the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all these competitors are going to get in there before a pinfall happens.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see who comes out, because also in that gauntlet match, securing numbers 1 and 2, Andrade El Idolo and MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. But in that type of a gauntlet match, I gotta say, I don't want to be number 1. I don't want to be number 2. I don't want to be number 3 or number 4. I want to be the last person in, the freshest person in, to get that advantage, if you will.
But since it can end at any time, you have to be the beginning. You have to want to be at the beginning. That way you could at least secure a spot that you are going to make it into the match.
Very true. Very, very true. And with that being said, we've got to take our final break here in hour number 2. And when we come back, we'll talk all about Friday Night SmackDown here on Uncensored Wrestling Talk.
Weber Chevrolet. In the auto business, you don't just automatically stick around for 120 years. You gotta earn it. We've come a very long way selling wagons and farm implements and the like on the riverfront, where the Arch now stands. Now, we have 4 great dealerships in the St. Louis and Southern Illinois areas, all in the 270 loop. It's a legacy built on trust, hard work, and commitment to our community. But what matters most is you, our valued customers. It's no surprise, times have changed, vehicles have changed, car buying has changed, but we're still here to do what we've done for the past 120 years, helping people find great cars and trucks to meet their family's needs and budgets. That's something that nobody else can say. See for yourself why for 120 years, Weber has been the name that you can rely on. Visit us at any of our locations in Granite City, Columbia, Illinois, and Creve Coeur. You can also find us on Facebook on WeberAutomotive.com.
See, Gabe Kidd returns. So there's another trios for AEW.
Well, we can talk about that real quick when we come back.
People are talking about Don Julio's Mexican Restaurant in the Winfield Plaza and Don Julio's Taco Express at number 3 Troy Center, setting the standard for authentic Mexican food and great drinks. Carry out or dine in 7 days a week at both great locations. Stop in or order online for carryout at DonJuliosWinfield.com or DonJuliosTroy.com. Don Julio's Mexican Restaurant in the Winfield Plaza and Don Julio's Taco Express at number 3 Troy Center. And don't forget, buy one, get one free on Wednesday in Troy and on Monday in Winfield.
Even.
That's
Oh, it's
Don
even?
Julio's Mexican
Even.
Restaurant in the Winfield Plaza.
They
and
said
Don
several
Julio's
times,
Taco
and-
Express at
but it
number
looks
3
like
Troy
about
Center.
six times.
Veteran owned and operated.
With
Bringing
Race.
great authentic Mexican food home
Win
to
the
Lincoln
last one.
County. Hasta pronto.
Ding, ding, ding!
Let's get ready to rumble.
This summer, the NWA territories collide. Saturday night, August 15th, the National Wrestling Alliance presents the 2026 Territory Classic, live from the historic Harley Race Wrestling Arena in Troy. The rising stars of professional wrestling will represent their territories in a one-night tournament where pride, opportunity, and victory are all on the line. Experience hard-hitting, high-energy professional wrestling the way it was meant to be seen, live and up close. Doors open at 6, the action begins at 7. Bring the entire family to the Harley Race Wrestling Arena. Get your tickets now at HarleyRace.com. That's HarleyRace.com. Saturday night, August 15th, don't miss the 2026 Territory Classic presented by the National Wrestling Alliance.
Old Monroe Lumber Company has the really big tools you need to get the job done right. Not only in the retail store, but in the rental area too. Bobcats, excavators, dingoes, and lift equipment, including a 65-foot boom lift, scissor lifts, and more. Need something a little smaller? Old Monroe Lumber Company rents saws, log splitters, jackhammers, water pumps, and dump trailers. Just about anything you need delivered to your job site. Take a look online at omlumber.com.
The Wrecking Crew. What do you guys do here?
We recycle. Our typical business is picking up stuff that nobody else can get.
People may have a lot of money laying in their property and they just don't realize it.
They do. A lot of money sometimes, and not where you would think it would be.
Where are you located?
Troy, Winfield, Vandalia, Missouri. We do boxes, trailers. We cut stuff up on site. We do insurance work. Farmers, if you have a burnt building or wind damaged building or grain bin, that's our specialty.
How'd they get a hold of you?
Call me personally or call the office.
The Wrecking Crew. 636-462-1727.
Operating Engineers Local 513, proud to support the Mizzou Tigers, St. Louis Blues, Kansas City Chiefs, and local high school sports on News Radio KYRO. The Local 513 training program at Highway 61 and F is now accepting apprenticeship applications to build your future. Motor grader, backhoe, crane operation, and maintenance programs earn college credits and employment as an operator. Visit the Local 513 training program website at IUOE513.com and start building your future today.
You're home for the Tigers. To the house! To the house! To the house with 30 seconds to play! And the Bears. Cross the 50 to the 40. One man to hurdle. He does! To the house! Holy cow! All season long. A scoop is scored for Missouri. Kickoff return for a touchdown. Come on! Catch all the action right here.
News Radio 1280. 105.3 KYRO.
Why stop now?
Go Bears.
And welcome back for the last segment of Uncensored Wrestling Talk live from the Gateway Fiber Studio of News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. Of course, also on our Facebook feed and our YouTube channel. And that last commercial there, Superfan, you heard about how Mizzou and Missouri State are both going to be right here on News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM KYRO, and something else that's going to be starting up Monday Night Football, September the 14th, the beginning of the 2026 NFL season. It'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs right here on News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. And of course, you'll be able to hear every single game of the Kansas City Chiefs 2026 regular season right here.
Yeah, I mean, football's right around the corner.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And I cannot wait to see game one and see exactly how Patrick Mahomes delivers in that game. It's going to be interesting to see.
Do you really think he's going to start that game?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Seeing what he's been doing during training camp to this point, and seeing him move and run around, and even like last night, I know this isn't wrestling related at the moment, but we've got to talk about this real quick. Last night they had a game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the Chiefs ended up losing that game 16-15. But at the end of the first half, Harrison Butker, the field goal kicker and point kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, absolutely nailed with like 7 or 8 yards to go still, really. A 69-yard field goal. And after that field goal was over, after he had hit that field goal, you saw pictures of Patrick Mahomes running onto the field as if they had won another Super Bowl, and he was moving like a deer trying to get away from a lion.
Right.
He was moving quick and running with gusto and excitement. And so yeah, I'm totally excited, and I totally believe that he is going to start game one against the Denver Broncos.
Hopefully.
And again, you'll be able to hear that, plus all of the Chiefs games, all of Mizzou, all of Missouri State, and also starting this coming Friday night, right here on News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. I'll be running the boards as Kyle Skabinski will be doing play-by-play for Troy Buchanan High School football. It's right around the corner.
It's right around the corner for you, Sarge.
Right there.
Had the cot in the back of the radio station.
It's going to be busy. It's going to be a fun time, though, and I cannot wait. All right, let's jump back into this. Friday night SmackDown. We've got about 7 minutes to the top of the hour here on Uncensored Wrestling Talk on the radio side of things. And, of course, if you are on the radio side and you want to continue hearing what's going on the show, because we'll go for a few more minutes on the stream side of things, switch it on over. But on Friday Night SmackDown, to start the show off, we had Cody Rhodes in the ring, hollering and screaming for Randy Orton to get his butt down there because he wanted to fight. Nick Aldis coming out, trying to calm situations. Randy Orton then finally coming out, but an interesting situation developed because Nick Aldis jumped back on that microphone and told that Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton were not allowed to touch each other before their big upcoming event next weekend on Sunday night's, 2 weeks from tonight, Sunday night main event, or neither man will get ever another title shot.
Yeah,
that's an interesting stipulation now.
Nick's laying down the law on that one. So yeah, I mean, we won't. But does this make? Do you think Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton should be the main event of Sunday night's main event, or Obafemi and Braun Breaker?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. That's a hard one to decide.
To me, they're going to bookend it. So one's going to start the show, one's going to end the show.
So what I would do then, if you're going to book in that way, I would put Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes to start the show, set the tone, and then have Obafemi and Braun Breaker close the show.
I agree. It was kind of one of those wide little thoughts that just popped in my head whenever we're...
And don't quote me yet, but I believe that Sunday night main event is still going to be on the Peacock network. So it won't be on regular TV or anything. It'll be on the Peacock network. So if you don't have the Peacock network and you want to see Sunday night, main event, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go and get Peacock.
Right.
Gonna have to get the Peacock to watch the main event on Sunday night in 2 weeks from tonight. But continuing on though with Friday Night SmackDown, neither Cody Rhodes or Randy Orton all that pleased with Nick Aldis for him putting that in there that neither man would get another title shot if they laid fingers on each other. Interesting situation there. Also, some more chaos going on Friday night. Trick Williams and Lil Yachty. I'm kind of overseeing Lil Yachty, to be quite honest. I really am. But they come down and they're making the challenge to Baron Corbin, the brand new United States heavyweight champion. And it comes down to Lil Yachty basically using that kendo stick that he's been carrying around and attacking Baron Corbin with it. And Baron Corbin, he's had enough, basically, of Lil Yachty. And he told Trick Williams that he would get a United States title rematch under one condition, that musical artist Lil Yachty must first last 5 minutes in the ring against Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I mean, Lil Yachty is going to get his butt kicked.
I'm kind of hoping he does get his butt kicked, but you know what? I got this feeling.
Trick Williams there, they're going to be able to stretch it that 5 minutes.
He's going to be able to stretch it that 5 minutes. He's not going to beat Baron Corbin by any stretch of the imagination here. But Lil Yachty's going to last that 5 minutes because he has been doing some training down at the Performance Center and trying to get himself ready for possible in-ring action whenever that was to occur. Because he does like to interfere on the behalf of Trick Williams that we have seen in the past as well. So, but even with Lil Yachty being able to survive 5 minutes with Baron Corbin, which I think will happen, I don't see Trick Williams beating Baron Corbin for another reign at the U.S. United States Championship right now.
I don't either.
I just don't.
I don't either.
Baron Corbin has been on a whirlwind right now, just absolutely going to town. And he made mention to Trick Williams that he's got that belt being deferred exactly. So I guess we're going to see a different championship coming up very, very soon, possibly next week on Friday Night SmackDown. It'll be interesting. We've got about 1 minute and 30 seconds left here on the show on the radio side of things. And real quick here, CM Punk taking on Kevin Owens. What a match that I didn't have a lot of high hopes for.
I didn't have
to be honest.
high hopes for that match
but
either.
It absolutely delivered.
Well, it's a good thing they delivered on that one because there wasn't really any other matches throughout the night for SmackDown anyway.
Ooh. But the story coming out of that, though, Sami Zayn hitting Owens with the championship belt after the referee, of course, was knocked down and out. CM Punk taking advantage of that, hitting the GTS, the go to sleep, getting the pinfall, but then Sami Zayn getting in and hitting CM Punk with the belt, and then also hitting Kevin Owens once more with that belt. That's wow.
Justice for Sammy. Justice for Sammy.
Justice for Sammy. That's what he's got that shirt on saying. But man, that's a heck of a situation now that we've got surrounding that undisputed WWE World's Heavyweight Championship. Wow. Well, with that being said, 2 hours again is in the books for Uncensored Wrestling Talk. I am Sarge, and for my friend the superfan, the nematode Nelly himself, Tim Williams, until next Sunday, and hopefully we'll have HD Daniels is your brother now, back here in the studio with us. But until then, hey, Go watch some wrestling.
This Sunday, midterm matchups. With just 72 days until the midterms, the battle for control of Congress is
All right. A little bit extra for our stream folks here. Let's, also from Friday Night SmackDown, a very weird situation happened. It was supposed to have been Blake Monroe taking on Julia, and there was a melee before that match actually got started. Excuse me. They got into the ring. The bell rung. I heard the bell ring.
Yeah.
The match was underway and official, but then the referee just stopped everything. Apparently, Julia was injured at some point during this match where she could not go anymore. But they didn't even call Blake Monroe the winner of this.
Then they
it was just a straight no contest.
No contest.
I disagree with that 100%. And I mean, granted, Julia may have gotten injured, but if that's the case and she can't go, Blake Monroe picks up her first victory. Bottom line. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, Blake Monroe is going to be a strong contender in the SmackDown women's division. It just depends on when are you going to let it loose.
I'm going to be honest about this. Yeah, she attacked Julia at the beginning of this match, and she was laying it in on Julia during her confrontation with her. But from what we saw with her versus Julia, she is definitely going to have to step her game up big time. It just didn't look like the same Blake Monroe that we had down in NXT.
No.
Or what was her name in AEW? Mariah May. Was that it?
No. Mariah May.
Yeah, it was Mariah May.
Yeah.
In AEW. It just didn't look like the same person.
Well, except for the fact that she curled her hair like Toni Storm.
I mean, okay.
To me,
I don't care about the hair thing. I'm talking about.
But the match.
I'm talking about the actions and the wrestling and everything like that. It just didn't look the same to me.
Yeah.
She's gonna have to really step it up. All right, let's go ahead and jump real quick to our the dirt sheets real quick. Wrestling news and rumors, something we haven't been able to do for quite some time here on the show. And we'll just do a couple of them before we do go ahead and get on out of here, because I know you've got stuff going on today.
Yep.
I've also got some stuff going on today that we got to get to. On Wrestling Observer Live, Brian Alvarez claimed that no matter the outcome of the CM Punk versus Kevin Owens match on SmackDown for the WWE Championship, it was always planned to be a one and done. Do you believe that?
No. So when was the last time WWE had a one and done situation? But it's getting crowded, really, with the CM Punk situation. It's crowded. You've got Gunther, you've got Randy Orton, you've got Cody Rhodes, you got Sami Zayn, you've got Finn Balor, you've got, I'm missing somebody, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, you got a lot of them.
All scrambling at that top level, and who's going to come out the victor? Don't know.
It's going to be very interesting. Things are picking up.
Yeah.
Things are picking up on Friday Night SmackDown, that's for sure. According to Russell Votes, WWE has been discussing how to freshen up the tag team division on both Raw and SmackDown. And you know what? The best way to freshen it up is make some new teams.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And we saw on Friday Night SmackDown Shinsuke Nakamura talking and him introducing his new tag team partner. Of course, it was from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiromu Takahashi, now going by the name of Kyoki. That's going to be that's going to be a really good tag team, and I think that's going to be a really, really good feud between MFT, Tama Tonga, and Tala Tonga, right now the WWE Tag Team Champions.
Yeah. I mean, those, I guess it's the end of Truth and Damian Priest.
I don't know if it's the end of them. I mean, they did have their rematch last night, and they did lose. So that means they're going to have to start a few rungs lower on that
Yeah.
tag team ladder. But and I
You
still would
got
like
the
to see
Viking
them stay
Warriors.
together.
The
Yeah,
Viking-
you got the War Raiders. You've got
War
them as
Raiders.
well. But that's the thing with Nakamura and now Kyoki. I don't want to see them go right into a feud with MFT. I want to see them climb that ladder first.
Right.
I want to see them go up against Damian Priest and R-Truth. I want to see them go up against Ethan Page and Rusev, quite possibly.
Mhm.
I want to see them go up against the War Raiders and all those guys first. And then, you know, within a couple of months' time or so, then go over and say, hey, MFT, we want our shot.
Right.
What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, the tag team division on Raw and SmackDown needs a boost of talent somewhere to make it interesting again.
Something else that also happened this week. Ilya Dragunov, now gone from the WWE, and didn't see that one coming.
No.
Did not see that one coming.
Not at all.
And I believe it wasn't just that he was released, his contract actually expired. And I've got this feeling that it's one of those type of contracts where there is no 90-day wait clause on it. So we could possibly see, and for what it's worth, Fightful Select is even saying this, that they haven't heard anything just yet on Ilya Dragunov going to AEW, but he is a free agent and able to do so whenever. And I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up in AEW at All In next Sunday night.
See,
maybe even in that Casino Gauntlet singles match.
I could see that as a surprise, yes. But part of me goes, would it be better? Look at all the people that have left New Japan. They're scrambling for some outside talent, if you ask me. Would he be better fit and could reign in New Japan for a little bit?
He could very well. Anything else on the YouTube before we get out of here on the chat side of things?
Not on the chat side of things.
Okay. We were talking a little bit about Triple Mania earlier, saying that Triple Mania was originally planned to be a one-night event, but Russell Votes notes it was changed to 2 nights with 1 night booked for Las Vegas with the hopes of attracting potential media partners. So 1 night in Las Vegas, night 2 going to happen a couple of days later in New Mexico City. One being the Friday night, the other one being the Sunday night, and I'm thinking it's in September at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have to look that up and do a little bit of research and find out exactly when that's going.
I was curious if they're going to try to combat that towards AEW events, but it doesn't look like they are. So
it'll be interesting to see. A few more things here. According to PW Insider, what Sami Zayn said on SmackDown about having a broken hand is legitimately true. He does have a broken hand, and that's why he has not wrestled a match since SummerSlam. Well, if he's got a broken hand, I'm wondering if that was such a smart idea to get involved in that Kevin Owens and CM Punk matchup on Friday night.
Probably not.
Probably not, says Superfan. Oh, Lord, here we go. Here we go, Superfan. They're going to do it to us again this year. A source told PW Insider that the John Cena Sucks Classic will take place sometime after Survivor Series, but nothing is locked in yet. I wouldn't be hurt one single solitary bit if it doesn't happen at all.
But this tournament they're doing different. This is the different tournament where it's all the fans' decision. You could lose the match, but if the fans like you,
I don't like
you're going to win.
I do not like that. I'm sorry. I love being a wrestling fan.
So in other words, it's going to be just like his career. It's going to suck.
It's going to suck. Just like it sucked before. It sucked last year's.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. Wrestling fans don't know what the hell they're doing. Let's see, what else can we talk about real quick before we do get on out of here? Let's see here. Well, this is interesting. This is interesting, and this is the first time I'm seeing this. Wrestling Observer Live's Brian Alvarez says there are, quote unquote, a lot of people in AEW who want out of their contracts, but Tony prefers to pay wrestlers to sit at home rather than cut them. Alvarez indicates that a lot of AEW contracts will, quote unquote, quietly expire over the next 18 months, which could put a glut of talent back on the indies. Interesting. What do you think, Superfan?
Yeah, I mean, but I saw that earlier, and I'm trying to think, who is it that's been sitting at home? I mean, Britt Baker comes to the top of the list. What are they doing with Britt Baker?
Well, from what I'm hearing, she might be back for that Rebel episode of Dynamite coming up very, very soon. Basically at the beginning of September.
Yeah.
So she may be back for that and might be back for good. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, one last one here from the Dirt Sheets. Russell Votes Radio mentioned that Solo Sikoa's merchandise is selling better over the last month, with his Funko Pop doing especially well. And it sounds like WWE is working on Pew Pew merch for Solo Sikoa after his recent warning shot promo opposite of Jey Uso on Raw. And I gotta tell you, if there's a Pew Pew shirt, I'm gonna get one. And I'm gonna wear it right here on Uncensored Wrestling Talk, so that way, every time that we go Pew Pew or a yeet, we can follow it up with the other one. That'll be fun. Oh, you don't like that one bit?
No, I really don't.
I'm definitely gonna do it now.
I don't.
Any last words?
No, actually, okay, one last word. Hey, we got another event coming up at NWA, WLW, a couple weeks. Get your tickets.
Yep.
Again, I want to say a thank you to all the territories, all the help. It was a great event. Can't wait to see something like that again.
And keep your eyes out, because that event will be shown on NWA YouTube with the commentary that myself and Fabulous Freddie Flame we did. I said Flame again, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
It's Fame. Fabulous Freddie Fame and myself that did the commentary for that on NWA YouTube. And then also keep your eye out on World League Wrestling's YouTube channel. All the TV stations that we're on across this awesome country of ours, especially right here in the St. Louis area, KPLR TV, CW11, and if you're outside of the area and you want to see what CW11 is seeing, Fox 2 STL Plus, that app is shown every Thursday night at 8:30 in the evening Central Time. So that's 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain for our New Mexico folks out there, and of course 6:30 out there on the Pacific Coast. So all kinds of stuff going on here in the world of professional wrestling, especially right here for NWA, NWA World League, NWA New Mexico, NWA everyone. It's such a fun time to be underneath that umbrella. Anything else?
Nope.
With that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out the stream. We appreciate each and every one of you for joining us this Sunday morning. And until next Sunday, when we hope to have HD Daniels back with us, the 1, 2, 3, yeet, man.
I know.
Absolutely. Go watch some wrestling. Well, maybe a ding here. I can't get it to stop. There we go. Pull on that thing. Here we go. Thanks, sir.